This will be a tutorial, or I'll just kind of walk through all the steps on how to do dimensional analysis. Again, converting from one unit into another. So here's a snapshot, a quick look at just the 5 problems that I'll go through. And I'll go through them one at a time. Just go to the next slide. So the question asks us to convert 120 millimeters to inches. So if we have a textbook, we can look in the back of a textbook, or if I give this to you on a test, I'll have information here, and then you have to just identify which one converts from millimeters to inches, or inches to millimeters. So we find our unit of length, and then as I always say, go with what you know. Start off with what information is in the problem. So we put 120 millimeters in the top left-hand corner. We lay down our little railroad tracks, and since I don't want millimeters, I need to put millimeters down here so that they'll cancel out. Next, I need to figure out, can I go right from millimeters to inches? And the answer is yes. So 1 inch equals 25.4 millimeters. So I set up my problem, then I cancel out the units, millimeters. Then I'm only left with inches is what I want. And so I multiply everything on top, and then I divide by what's on the bottom. So that would be, when I multiply the top, I have 120, and then I divide it by the bottom, 25.4, and I just reduce. So it should be 4.73 inches. And again, before you start calculating, just, again, look at your work and figure out kind of ballpark, what should the number be. It should be somewhere around 4-ish. And so, there you go. As always, go with what you know, and then look at the conversions that I have here for you. So, I look at how many inches can go into a meter. So here, there's 39.37 inches in 1 meter. Then I also lay down my railroad tracks. Inches, start with what information is in the problem. Inches, we don't want inches in the end in our answer, so we have to put inches on the bottom in the denominator, so they'll cancel out, and then meters will go up here. Okay, so based on our conversion, this is a 39.37 inches is equal to 1 meter. We cancel out the units. So we multiply everything on top and divide by the bottom. And again, before we start punching numbers in the calculator, is this number going to be large or really small? Since the bigger number is on the bottom, it's going to be obviously less than 1. So our answer should be 0.46 meters. So we set it up. This is very similar to the previous one. We identify we have meters, but we want inches. We have the conversion rate down here. 1 meter equals 39.37 inches. We start with the information that we have in the problem, 3.7 meters. We don't want meters, so we put meters in the denominator. These will cancel out. So meters cancel out, we're only left with inches, so we multiply the top. And what kind of number should it be? Big or little? It should be around what number? So when you multiply the top, it should come up with 145.7 inches. So this one will be a little bit more challenging. This is going to be a 2-step instead of just a simple 1-step on the grid or on the railroad tracks. So go with what you know, 5 pounds, and then just lay down the railroad tracks. So we set it up. We start with pounds. We don't want pounds. So this will cancel out, but what does pounds go into? So let's look down here. What do we see? We see that we could go from pounds to ounces, and then we have to do another step to get to grams. We convert ounces to grams. So this will be 2 steps. So I've got 5 pounds. I cancel out the pounds, so I go from pounds to ounces. And now I'll go from ounces to grams. So I've canceled the pounds, I've canceled the ounces, and I'm left just with grams. So I just multiply everything on top. And since just 1's on the bottom, anything divided by 1 is the number. So just multiply everything on top. Is that going to be a big number or a little number? So when you multiply everything on top, you should get 2,268 grams. This one, we have all the numbers we need in our head already. So then the challenge is, how do we set it up? Because there's lots of ways you can break down years into seconds. You could break it down to months. You could break it down then into days. You could weeks. Okay, so there's lots of different ways to do it. So start off with year, and then let's break it down one step at a time. Now, I actually put 365.25 days in a year. Now, you might be concerned about what the heck is 2.25, because every 4 years we have a leap year, right? And where do we put that extra day during the year? In February. So once every 4 years, you get a leap year on the 29th of February. Just a little factoid, my first daughter was hours away from being a leap year baby, so I was very excited that I would only have to get her presents every 4 years. However, she was born on the 28th of February. So going right to, because if you just do it months, not every, so then you go months to then days in a month, but not every single month has the same number of days. So I just went a shorter step, I went right to days, and I included the 0.25 for the leap year. So it's kind of ugly with the stylus, but 1 year to year, days to day. How many hours in a day? 24. And in 1 hour there's 60 minutes, and then in 1 minute there's 60 seconds. So go through and then double check the cancellation that the units cancel. So I included 2 different numbers. So if you actually worked it out like I did with the leap year, the 0.25, the quarter of a day, you come out with 31,557,600 seconds. But if you just 365 days right here in this step, you would get 31,536,000 seconds total. Again, looking at these, just a blank slide again, can you figure out how to do the steps? Do you remember what we just did? All right. And let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I can help you in class.